hello. I've arrived. Artist, archivist, future man, and tonight, theoretical medical professional. You can call me Tiberius Vanderfield. Hello, hello. So, tonight, Arknights. Yes, we're finally getting back into it. Yes. Not a whole lot to be said before we get into things. I'd offer up a recap, but honestly I don't remember too well what exactly was happening in the story immediately prior to where we are now. Because it has been, I don't know, about a month or so? Something like that. But yes, anyway, with that being said, let's see. Right, business. Yes. So, tomorrow, you should be seeing some more Atelier Yumia. Then on Friday, you should be seeing some more Guilty Gear Strive. Yes. And then Saturday should be another Arknight stream. Yes. So, the Thursday and Friday stream, you can expect around 9:30 p.m. Central Time. I'm going to see about starting a little bit earlier, possibly as early as 9, but we shall see. I don't want to commit too hard to anything there, but that is my intention. Then the Saturday stream, you should be able to expect around 8:30 p.m. Central Time as well. So yes. So, that should be all that. Yeah, I don't anticipate any differences for next week's schedule, other than, of course, alternating between Guilty Gear Strive and Mika and the Witch's Mountain. But next week is still a fair ways away, so we'll talk about that more when we get closer to it. But yes, so, Arknights. Yeah, before we get into things, there was an event, apparently, on the web. And I wasn't aware of it. I'm following the Arknights account on Twitter, but I don't check it ever, basically. So often things just kind of happen, and I'm completely unaware of them. But what I am aware of, or what I have been made aware of, is that this comes with a skin for Savage, whom I don't recall if we've ever used Savage during the playthrough, but she's a character that I like. Anyway, I wanted to save this for when we were on stream, because I wanted to take a look at it for the first time then. Rhodes Kitchen Collection Secret Family Recipe. Savage wore this when making carrot cakes. The hand-knitted sleeves and an apron paired with a cool, breathable inner layer make it feel relaxing and distinctive. Yes, very nice. I like the little effigies in the background there of the Doctor and Amiya. Anyway, so yes, all that being said, let's get into the actual game. Yes, so, continuing episode 6. But yes, last time around, we got caught on 6-2 here, and yeah, I was unable to make progress. We had a pretty rough stream went so poorly for me that it is up on the VOD channel, but it is unlisted, because I was not pleased with the quality of it. I was having some pretty bad anxiety that day. But yes, last time around we had a pretty rough go of things, so I decided to take some time during the time we weren't playing Arknights. Yeah, I decided to take some time and practice this stage, and I accidentally beat it. Yeah, which is to say I accidentally beat it properly. I forgot to use the practice things. But yeah, anyway, so I have beaten this stage, so I suppose there's not too much reason to do it again, but we're going to do it again. Just for the sake of it, I suppose. But yeah, I could... I almost feel like, well, no. We'll do this. We'll do this properly. But yeah, I don't remember precisely what I did here. Because, yeah, that was also a couple of weeks ago.
Too bad some people just can't live and let live.
Yes, I do remember the very basics. Yeah, for one thing, we swapped out Beanstalk to have a little bit more immediate generation of BP. We've added Thermal X to our team, whom we shall see at some point, I imagine. But yes, other than that, I remember the position of medics being somewhat particular, but I don't remember precisely what I did, which is probably not the best. Yes, I know that we did switch to double multi-target medics to help hold back the tide in the center, which is definitely the big issue of this whole strategy.
Competitor or not, you will get a lesson from me.
I don't think I deployed Swire this early. I think I deployed Perfumer
I
first.
won't be afraid.
Let's see. We should have enough to deploy both of our blockers here. And I believe we deployed Aesthesia last in order to have her be a higher priority for the casters. I think we might have placed her... Did we place her further back? I don't remember. I feel like our guards were somewhat staggered. Oh dear. Okay, so I definitely... Alright. Yeah, so I definitely did make a mistake there, because I did not plan around Courier having to retreat. So yeah, Swire was... Probably I didn't need to deploy Swire that early. Yeah, if I had retreated Courier a little bit earlier, we probably could have gotten Gummy out without issue. We'll deploy Flopsis. Let's see. I do recall Acid Drop. Where did we put Acid Drop, now that I think about it? Actually, we might have had... Well, I don't know. The particulars aren't that important, I suppose.
It's me. The blueprints check out.
Yes. I believe that, now that I think about it, we might have had I might have had Telopsis facing down with Gummy, yeah, over in the bottom corner there.
That's some of my specialty.
Yes, we definitely want Acid Drop out sooner rather than later. Yes, things are going pretty well, I'd say. We did have a singular loss. Oh, we've had two now. What? Okay. Yes, it looks like Gummy got a little bit overwhelmed there. Unfortunate. So yeah, I suppose maybe I should have deployed Swire a little bit. Yeah, definitely later. Definitely later. I feel like there might have been some other difference that I failed to recall. Oh well. I don't know. I suppose I don't have that much to prove. I've gotten through the level in my own time. Alright. Yes, things are going pretty well right now. Things are going pretty well right now. They could probably go a little bit better. I don't think we need to use Telopsis' ability just yet. I don't think we need to use Swire's yet either. Yeah, we're going to get a lot of casters here in a short time. So that's when I think we want to use most of our abilities. In particular, when we want to use
Is it my turn to
Telopsis.
Activating Arch Unit. Fresh blood coats my saw and boils the whole
Yes,
battlefield.
I don't think we need to do anything, or yeah, we definitely don't need to do anything with Blaze, because Blaze's ability is just passive. We probably could have deployed Thermal X a little bit sooner. Not bad, not bad. Alright. The top is done.
Yes?
So, we'll deploy a little bit more over here.
That's just a side
Yes.
effect.
See, having an enemy kind of leak through is part of the plan.
High temperature. Is it my turn
That is something that I had planned on.
All right.
Yes, we can remove cement as well.
What's that? Make me breathe.
Alright. So yes, not the cleanest run, but it's you know, successful. I've proven my point, I
A number
suppose.
of errors have been detected. Please confirm.
I can confirm that there were a number of errors, yes. Yes, I suppose I should also be keeping an eye out. I've been having some issues with frame rates in the capture here. But yeah. I don't think we've been having those issues with Arknights, but I don't know, I guess I don't look away from the screen as much when we're playing Arknights as I do when we're playing Atelier. So it could be that it has been happening and I just haven't been noticing it. But yeah. Anyway, so I looked into that a little bit more last night, and I wasn't able to figure out precisely why it was happening. I did determine that it seemed like it was most likely either an issue with the capture card or an issue with the output to the capture card, and not the output from the capture card. It also stopped occurring at some point during my testing last night. I don't think anything I did necessarily fixed it, but it stopped happening, so we shall see. Anyway, so with that, let's go to the story. I'm sorry. Now, me beating on you doesn't mean we aren't on the same side. Yeah, no, seriously, it does. We are not on the same side. This is Blaze. Come in, Team Blaze 4, capture the dozen or so reunion. Come recover them when you can. Otherwise, just hand them over to Lungman. Hey, Lungmanite, do me a favor and lower your crossbows. We're all friends here. You still don't trust me? I saved your life. Get back. I mean, you're infected. Yeah, I am. Ugh. Come on, Doctor. Move. Alright, Dr. Tiber, hop on. It's faster this way. Are you sure? Huh. You've gotten used to my piggyback rides? Don't look at me like that. How many times have we been treated like this? It's no big deal. Let's head to Wang San Plaza in District 16. If Reunion wants to break through the line, that's where they'll have to do it. If we're going to wipe out Reunion's main force, we can't let any of them slip through our zone of control. The way Amiya and the cranky old cop lady worked it out, we'll just be whittling them away little by little until we can finally wipe them all out in one swift stroke. So, we go chase the bad guys out of Wang Sang Tower, herd them into a pincer attack, then meet up with Amiya and crush Reunion once and for all. Piece of cake, right? You and your faces. I told you I'm fine. Fine. If you keep staring at me like that, I'm pulling this cat over. Hold on tight. Huh? Look over there. Uh-oh. Isn't that Mephisto's herd? But how? They need Mephisto around, don't they? Wait a minute. They're killing their own? What's going on? I'm getting vitals, but no reports, and no signs of any distress signals either. Something's not right. Shouldn't you be, commanding? What are you standing here staring at? None of your business, little miss. Hey, shouldn't we be sharing intel? Not this time. I'm thinking you lost contact with a spy. Could you not waste your intuition on stuff like this? At least you own up to it when I guess right. Infected? Yep. You think he turned? Impossible. You think the impossible happened? If she turned, well, I don't even want to think about it. If she betrayed us, then there's absolutely no one left in Lungmen we can trust. I think I know who it is. Wait, would she really be willing to do this? Her? Really? I suppose we will learn who her is in due time. But yes. So, let's see what we're up against here. Yeah, again, no particular point in changing my team up until until we're actually in the match itself. match? Game. Level, perhaps even. But yes. Anyway. Mephisto? What was that you just unleashed? Your team is more riled up than before. They're in pain. Oh, you can tell. The seeds I planted have finally bloomed. Nothing to worry about, Faust. They won't hurt us. You're still catalyzing their infection? Mephisto, just stop. You have a chance to survive. I am the only one who can perform such arts, and it is through my arts that we can escape. You saw with your own eyes. If we push through like this, the LGD will kill us all long before we can reach the escape tunnel in the slums. Have you ever seen those weapons before? Nobody in Chernobog had weapons like that. This is their city. They know it far better than us. Where did they come from? Where did they disappear to? There's no way we can take them on with this few of us. The Chernobog Ursus are too weak. Lungmen treats us like an army, but we're no army. We're just a group of like-minded individuals trying to survive. Quiet down. Morale is low enough. My herd will never waver in the face of such challenges. Not to mention all the reunion members who just joined us. Frostnova will definitely help us. Frostnova? That Frostnova? Ha! As if she didn't take her Yetis and betray us? Mephisto. If not, we can definitely crush our enemies with such strength. But even if they did turn against us, I can't blame them for doing what it takes to survive. Frostnova is no traitor, I told you. Look at the facts. Indeed, we all do what it takes to survive. Just calm down. Don't go stumbling into the LGD's traps. I have it under control, Faust. I will ensure the comfortable survival of all my people. What are you going to do? I'm going to show the LGD something much more terrifying than an army. Just wait until they see the flowers that bloom for my people. Mephisto. The LGD must pay for their atrocities. And that Chen, she will pay for what she did to you. My comrades, my people, heed my words. A magnificent vitality flourishes within you. Go forth and give in to your impulses, spread your seed, and seize your future. No, Mephisto. They're living beings. Chaotic howling and shrieking. All of the Lungmen is your garden. Go now. Spread the life within you to all the people. Go, go, go! Troubling. Huh? What's happening? What are you doing? You're not in our squad. What did I ever do to you? Or Mephisto? Captain? Captain! Captain! Are you trying to fight me? Why? Help! Somebody help me! Ah! They are far stronger than they were. They can't hear my voice anymore, but they won't attack us again. They will grow stronger, more durable, and more numerous. And they will completely consume Lungmen. If my people can't have this city, I certainly won't leave it to the Lungmenites. Faust, come. It's time. Faust? What have you done? Pained wailing. Faust? Where are you going? Faust? Why are Mephisto's people attacking us? I saw it. It was awful. Those things took Ivan and then Ivan became like them. Zuka, what are you? Some kind of monster? They feel no pain. I stab them and they don't die. They're getting stronger. We can't stop them. Come with me. Faust? No, it might be one of Mephisto's traps. He saved my life. Mephisto's a real piece of work. He might be okay. Get out of here. Hurry. The Phantom Crossbowman will cover you. Right. Thanks. Hey! Look out! Virginium? Run! The herd's after you! Greythroat, the enemy's movements are erratic. The defenders will hold the line, while the casters cut down the enemy numbers. You and the snipers will take care of any infected with Art's ability. I'm allowed to shoot the infected dead? Greythroat. In principle, I can't allow anyone to harm the infected. Because if I were to allow that, then wouldn't someone else allow the infected to harm others? It's a vicious cycle. But, pointless. There's no room for the philosophy of ethics on the battlefield. The ideal situation is that nobody hurts anybody, regardless of their infection status. Understood. Aviel's providing medical support, so watch yourself out there. Don't get hurt. What's that? It looks like Mephisto's herd? But I can't sense any emotion from them. No. Greythroat, get down! Something's wrong! They're pulling Originium out of their bodies? Greythroat! Doctor, are you okay? I'm fine. Be careful. What's with this herd? They're acting completely different. Doesn't matter. You're safe here. Kinda. Don't move. I'll take care of them and be back in a sec. Alright, if we're going to continue using Blaze, we might want to think about actually leveling her up at some point.
Just wait for us to get back, Doctor.
Alright, we've got an interesting setup here. So, we're going to be seeing a lot of action down this middle path, I take it. The question then is what we're going to see on the top. But I can only imagine that it's going to be something that I do not like. Yes, everything is progressing smoothly so far, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. We might want to get a little bit more... get a ranged unit or two out on the field. This will give us a little bit more range. It won't give us quite as much coverage though, so hopefully we can take the enemies out before they become an issue for Zima. Yeah, given the limited range, probably having a sniper and possibly some casters, though I don't have any casters on the team. Never mind.
You'll pay for that.
Ah, okay. So, we have made a bit of a blunder here, because now we don't have anyone who can support, we can't position anyone in such a way as to support Cement.
Target marked.
So yes, so, we might want emphasis on the might, because I'm not sure yet, but we might want to put Blaze out in front.
Fresh blood coats my saw and boils the whole battlefield.
So, Cement has lost, which is unfortunate. Probably we could...
Initializing.
My blood's only gonna make this place hotter.
Alright, we might just not have a good setup for dealing with these. We might want to see about using more, or using any, perhaps. But yeah, using any D-cell binders.
Requesting medevac. I dragged everyone down.
But yeah,
It's
I
all my
imagine
fault.
by the time
Sorry.
the enemies get to the lower lane, they're probably... Yeah, it's going to be bad, basically. It's going to be bad. But yeah, so Cement doesn't have the durability necessary to survive this. That might change if we were to swap her, or not swap her, if we were to swap the medic that we have on her for a single target medic. Though I don't know that any of our single target medics have that much healing. We will see. Yeah, I still think Cement's a good choice because we're not going to be seeing a lot of units that have I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of units on that lane anyway. So yeah, cement, I'm pretty sure, has the highest defense of any unit that can reasonably field at this point. Actually, no, she doesn't. Not by a long shot. Anyway. Yeah, 8%. I feel like we did the math on this before, and I think that Fire Whistle's defense does slightly... It's not quite as high. Well, I don't know. Let's do the math again, just to be sure. But yeah, so 401 plus 8%. 0. Oops. Times 1.08. So yeah, so about 433. So yeah, so that is less defense than cement. Yeah, of course, if we can get structural support up, that should give cement a lot of the durability that she needs. It isn't necessarily guaranteed to keep her alive, but it should help quite a bit. Yeah, of course, we could always just upgrade our units a little bit. I guess, yeah, I'd kind of forgotten that cement's actually pretty low level still. Because yeah, we have quite a few options who have higher defense than she does. Never mind. Yeah, if defense is all we need, then cement might not be the best choice. But defense probably isn't all that we need. We probably want other things too. Blueprint corrections could probably be good if we can get cement on the field sooner rather than later. Anyway, I think cement's still a good choice. I don't think we're going to need the passive healing from Perfumer quite so much. I think we'll try out Gavial. Yeah, my thought is to use Vitality Restoration, because I feel like we're going to have cement be at or like below 50% HP fairly often.
Leave the rear to me. Go show them what you're made of.
Yes, other than that, once again, B-cell binders would be a good choice. I think Swire's good to have here as well still. I don't know that we necessarily want Thermal X. Earth Spirit, I think.
Bestanden.
Let's see, do we want to keep Acid Drop around? I don't see any reason why not to. I don't know if our DP is necessarily quite so tight that we need Courier around as well. I do feel like we should at least promote Blaze. We'll promote her and level her up a little bit.
Can you feel the air getting hotter? No? Really? Then I'd better kick things up a notch. Aw, I was trying to get you fired up.
I apologize for the lack of reaction, Blaze. I was giving you a moment of silence. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe not moment of silence, but I was giving you an opportunity to speak. Anyway, so we'll level her up a little bit.
I've seen a lot of battles like this, but tougher times might still be ahead of us.
Alright. Yes. Emergency Defibrillation. So this one is an interesting ability. When this unit's HP falls below 25%, restores 50% HP one time only, and prevents HP from falling under 50% for 3 seconds. Yeah, so this is something that can be good if we ever reach a point where we're expecting something real nasty to come our way. But yeah, hopefully we shouldn't need it in this mission. We'll see, I suppose. Other than that, so Chainsaw Extension Module. Yes, this one is also interesting. Yeah, it gives her more attack range, which is good. Yeah, I think it just increases the attack range by 1. Oh, I just realized we never got around to increasing Blaze's skills at all. No wonder she's been underperforming. Besides the fact that she's also pretty substantially under level. But yes. So yeah, so I think that the consistent DPS increase from Chainsaw Extension Module could be good. Yeah, if we've got Tolopsis, then that means we'll get the ability active faster. Maybe not
Time
necessarily
for combat?
quickly,
Count me in.
but faster. I kind of feel like a Blaze front line with Swire behind her could be good. I don't... Come to think of it, can Gummy heal a unit diagonally? If so, putting her in the far back could be good. We could also use Senshi for that purpose. In fact, Senshi would probably be better because he can... Well, he can't do quite as much healing, but he can do buffing, which would be good. Also, I just kind of want to use Senshi some more. We didn't really get that great of an opportunity to use him during the Delicious in Dungeon event. But yeah, anyway, we'll try him out.
少し待て。調理道具と武器が揃っているかを確かめたい。
But yes, Zima and Courier are doing just fine for what we need. So yeah. We might want to try swapping Jessica out for another D-Cell binder, perhaps. Glaucus is probably our strongest one. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Glaucus is definitely our strongest D-Cell binder by a wide margin, considering that she's the only one who's anywhere near her level. But we'll see how we can do with Orchid.
I'll complete my mission to the best of my ability.
I certainly hope so. Alright. So we've definitely swapped out... Yeah. Blaze was definitely a good get. Improving Blaze is definitely a good improvement on our strategy overall. Swapping the units that we have, I don't know if that's
Too bad
necessarily
some
going to
people just
be
can't live and let live.
super beneficial to us. But it is what it is. Yes. So, again, I don't know that DP is necessarily going to be that tight that we need to deploy both of them, but we might as well if we've got the opportunity. Yes, I think we want Lopsis out sooner rather than later.
Arch unit charging.
Yes.
Bring it on!
I probably should have deployed them a little bit further forward so that we could have Swire in place. 'Cause yeah, we are going to start
After service.
having some issues here if we're not careful. So we might want to remove Courier a little bit
わし
sooner.
に任せておけ。
Yeah, we need more damage. We just need more damage.
This place could use some heat.
So why not go and deploy the unit that we just added, or we just improved the damage of very considerably. So yes. So we want to deploy Gavial like so. Yes. We want Earth Spirit. Well, okay, yeah. With Gavial the way she is, you can't deploy Earth Spirit in a way that
何を使
you can't deploy Earth Spirit in a way that also covers cement. Oh dear. Alright, well,
It's me.
unfortunate that.
Initiation healing mode enabled. The blueprints
Yeah, it wasn't
check out.
quite on the ball.
Let the construction work begin.
Yeah, we need a little bit more damage on the lower rank, I think.
どれ塩加減を見てみよ
Business competitor or not, you will get a lesson from me.
Will Cement have the healing necessary to keep this up, though? That is the question. She's doing okay, but she's not doing amazing, and she's definitely dying, actually. That's not great. So, these fellows definitely do not mess around. So,
Hang in there, I'm
what's
coming.
the defense like on Blaze? 274, which is nowhere near
う。やり方は分かる。
nowhere near what, say, Senshi has. So we might actually want to try this the other way around, with a defender up front
Let's just say luck wasn't on our side
Put our
this
defender
time.
up front. Put a defender up front with Blaze behind, perhaps. That could be a little bit more effective. But yeah, with the way that things went, we didn't have Courier out for more than about one use of his skill, so he almost didn't break even. I guess he did break even, but only just barely. Well, he didn't break even. He actually did profit us some DP, but it took a while and it was only a 1 DP profit versus just not deploying him. So yeah, so I don't think Courier is super strictly necessary in this particular strategy. Honestly, just leveling up Gavial or leveling up Cement would probably solve a lot of our problems. Yeah, I think Cement getting a little bit more damage in would solve things more efficiently. Again, I'm a little bit torn as to whether I want to use Cement as is or swap her out for someone else. Because again, I want to make good use of structural support because I feel like it would be really good in this instance. But if she's not going to survive long enough to get structural support active, then there's not really much point. But yes. So, with that, again, we want to make sure that the enemies are getting slowed. So we might want to deploy... be more aggressive about using our D-cell binders, perhaps. How would we deploy them efficiently, though, is the question. Yeah, we might also... We'd need a wide-range medic in order to be able to support Cement from down here. But yeah, so Cement needs to be in combat for 40 seconds in order to get the structural support buff. So, that's not impossible to arrange, I don't think, but it's not very likely, because again, when I say in combat, I mean actively blocking an enemy unit. And these units do not give her... the particular things that we're deploying her to block do not give her 40 seconds worth of time to survive, so... I don't know, we'll try leveling up Gavial a little bit. Let's go with 40.
I thought we were gonna have combat class.
Alright. Yeah, again, I do still want to sort of give myself a challenge, but again, I don't want to spend too much on it. Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on it. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be enough to give Cement the extra second or two of life that she needs, but we'll see. Yes.
All right, ladies.
Definitely,
Let's keep it cool.
I hadn't really considered what it would mean to have... Blaze on the field in front. But yes, and it seems that what that means is that what that would mean is that she would not do very well, unfortunately. So yes, with the setup we have here, we should be pretty okay to get Cement out a little bit early. Yeah, of course, she won't be getting structural support built up yet, but having her here, we can give her time to activate her talent, which could be good. Yeah.
しばし待て
So,
もうすぐ
if
完
we
成じゃ
deploy like so, will Gaviel have the range? She will have the range. Problem is, I don't want her healing down here if we can avoid it, because we need to focus on cement pretty much exclusively. So, deploying Senshi forward more probably would have been better, but oh well.
Ready to
Gaviel.
heal.
Yes, and then again, I want to focus on
ready.
having Earth Spirit able to do her thing. Yeah, if we want to get more efficiency out of the healers, we want to deploy. I don't know if I definitely don't want to deploy Colossus too aggressively, because that means she's going to get shot, but it looks like she's going to get shot anyway, so.
Duh, it's me.
Right, Blaze. I think we can afford to swap out Zima at this point.
This place could use some heat.
If you want treatment, you gotta
Okay,
come closer.
well, not quite enough there. Yeah, I wasn't paying that close attention to how things worked out with Cement. And I guess, yeah, part of the reason why she survived as long as she did last time is because we did have Senshi aiding her. So, with the removal of that, we then lost a pretty critical part of our survival strategy. Honestly, I guess power might not be...
Program activating arch unit.
Alright, so Blaze is definitely gonna die here, but... Yeah.
Let's
What
get out
would
of
we
here
want
first.
to deploy?
Here, this way. Hurry.
Deploying Gummy could help. Honestly, using Gummy in place of Cement might be... well, no. Because Gummy is able to reduce the incoming damage by stunning the enemy and all that, if we used her as the defender. But, critically, she doesn't have the... Critically, she does not have very high DPS herself. At the very least, not as high as Cement. Fire Whistle's another possibility. Fire Whistle would have both a lot more defense and a lot more attack. Well, some more defense, not a whole lot more, but she would have less defense than Cement, though. So yeah, we definitely need someone with high... Ah, hello, Pick. Yes, thank you for the alert. Glad to see you. But yes. So, Cement is good because she has high defense and high attack. And we need that defense in order to be able to withstand the enemies that we're facing. As for Gummy, again, she can reduce the incoming damage, thus giving herself some more survivability, but it's not that much. Or rather, I don't think that the difference in the effective incoming damage decrease is going to make up for the loss in damage output. So I don't think we want to replace Cement with Gummy. I think we just want to add Gummy to the team, probably in place of Courier, and have Gummy take the place of
Gummy, ready to go.
that we had Senshi in previously. You might actually want to have Senshi in the back and Gummy in the front on that middle lane, because Gummy, again, you know, we've already talked about the damage and all that, but with a little bit more support, Gummy should be pretty okay. With a little bit more support, Gummy should be pretty okay. And I don't know. I feel like we want the buffs from Senshi on Cement, if at all possible. We'll see how this treats us. So yeah, so another thing, we probably want to deploy Acid Drop. I didn't use her basically at all there. I didn't use her at all, period. Maybe not
Direct
necessarily
memory
Acid
access
Drop
for
specifically,
application
but just
An
more
enemy
damage in
coordinates
general.
authorized. Please stand by.
So yeah, I think we might want to keep Zima out a little bit longer to get more DP. Because we were running a little bit low towards the end there. So yes. As for the question of who we want to deploy first. Actually, now that we've... Yeah, with this we have kind of blundered, and I think we might want to restart.
Ready to heal.
Because again, the thought that I had was I want to keep Zima out longer, but I've put her where we're going to put Gummy, so that wouldn't work.
Let's just say luck wasn't on our side this time.
Indeed. Alright, let's try that again. Yes, so we want to leave that last space for Gummy. We'll put Zima right in front of
The
it.
battle has begun. Be careful, everyone.
Yes, put Zima right in front of it. Leave her there as long as we can. Then we want Blaze in front and then Gummy in front of that. Not necessarily in that order, but we'll see how it shakes out. I guess if we want to have Telopsis, we'll probably want Telopsis facing up so that she can potentially heal
Target marked.
units up there. One thing that we might want from... Okay, never mind. I was going to say, one thing that we would benefit from having Courier to block a little bit there, but we got the DP that we needed in time, so not a big deal. Alright, so... Definitely I think we want to have Cement out sooner. If we have to choose between deploying Cement immediately and deploying... deploying Cement immediately and deploying Gavial immediately. Probably want Cement out sooner. As soon as we can get her.
Victory or death. There are the enemies.
Because, Cement gets more powerful after... Oh, right, I forgot. An ad's coming up. So, break time. Alright, back. So yeah, anyway, as I was saying. So, Cement we want out as early as we can get her, more or less.
Initiation complete.
Yeah, we want Cement out as early as we can get her. And a large part of why that is because, you want to get structural or blueprint
Ready to heal.
or skill.
Initiation.
We want to get her
initiated.
talent back.
Healing process.
Anyway, other than that, then... Oops. Okay, we might not... Oh dear. We might have blundered a
If
bit
you
here.
want treatment,
Yeah.
you gotta come closer.
So maybe Courier was the right choice.
Victory or death.
Yeah, I guess we could have also retreated. We could have retreated Zima, possibly. I don't know if that would have been a great choice, but it was definitely a possibility. But since she doesn't have the durability we need here, neither does Blaze, unfortunately. So yeah, we just need these things dealt with, in a different sort of way. So yes. So, with that,
Come on, get it together.
back to the drawing board.
Let's just say luck wasn't on our side this time.
Alright. So, with that then, let's readjust. So, Cement... We could probably improve Zima's skill somewhat. Whoops. I don't know if that would give us precisely what we need. Well, we'd need to promote her first. Which we could do, I suppose. But that would throw off our EP a little bit. I almost feel like we maybe need another medic. Well, that... I don't know that that's necessarily the choice. Again, just leveling up our units is probably going to be a pretty big factor here. Not being dramatically and deliberately underleveled. Yeah, even with Senshi being on level, we didn't quite have what we needed. Yeah, in terms of survivability for him. So part of it might just be that we need to get rid of the things, whose name I've forgotten, enraged possessed soldiers. We might need to just get rid of them faster. Well, what can we do to get rid of them faster? Not a whole lot, really. I think early Telopsis is still a good strategy. I feel like Orchid isn't really contributing a whole lot, so we might want to again go back to having Courier on the team. We don't need Courier specifically, but, you know. I was thinking, for a brief moment I thought about maybe Ponsyrus, and maybe Ponsyrus is still a decent choice, but I don't think that she's better for purpose than Cement. Let's see, would she... Gotta pull up the calculator again. Cement has 480 something defense. Yeah, so Ponsyrus with her buff active would have, let's see, about the same. So, not a huge difference. And I don't know, I don't feel like we're getting blueprint corrections like ever. So maybe that's not necessarily the thing to play around. Yeah. Definitely... Did we not switch Courier in? I guess we didn't.
Leave the scouting to me.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to work with this. Yeah, we need to have
Direct memory access for
we need to have
application
Courier activate
And
his ability at least twice
coordinates
if we want to get any value out of him,
stand by.
more or less.
Spineless
Since we're
scumbags.
not planning on having her or him out for very long, I think placing him in the place where we would put Gummy is fine. Senshi does have substantially more defense than Gummy. I do wonder if her defense or her stun would be a major game changer here. I wonder. So, Colopsis, I think in this location is perfectly fine.
Arch unit charging.
For power and glory!
I don't know. Courier is going to slowly die, but again, we don't necessarily care to have him around for very long, so that's not the worst thing in the world.
Remember, max deviation for each drill hole is 2
I don't know that we want Cement out this early, especially because we're running into some issues in the middle. So probably Blaze.
This place could use
Alright.
some heat.
You are letting at least one enemy through, which is not ideal. Not the worst thing in the world, but definitely not what I would like.
I'm ready.
So, with that then, we can probably
Your orders.
swap Courier out now. Don't be indecisive, but do use Gummy.
I'm ready to fight.
Heal.
Ready to heal.
Alright,
Try some of my
we'll want
specialty.
Senshi in front.
悪くない配置だ。
Alright, so that
先ほど
wasn't
ここ
quite
で
it
食事
either.
を作ろう。
Very close though.
食材を数回に。
What are you scared of?
So yeah, definitely don't think that we're going to make it through this, unfortunately, though. Will we...
Initiation.
If we're using Kepler, we're using Kepler too late. So,
Hang in there, I'm coming.
alright.
Let's get out of here first. Here. This
I don't
way.
know. I think we might just need to, again, accept that I simply do not have that level of high enough level of proficiency with the game to be able to pull off the sort of challenge I'm setting before myself right now. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. So yes. So, we're pretty close to being able to take out one of those foes with cement.
Yeah. If the mines just provided workers with recorders, it would save us so much hassle.
Yeah, so a big buff to cement will help us out a little bit. Hopefully allowing us to get by the first one. Because I feel like the first one is definitely the worst one. Yeah, the first enemy is definitely going to be the most troubling. There's a part of me that's reluctant to promote Zima because again, that's going to increase our DP cost. It'll give us more DP. It'll give us more DP. What's the word I'm looking for? It will give us more DP in the meat, like over the long term, because we'll be able to improve her skill more. But I don't know that I have the materials necessary to increase it very much. Let's see. Pendng is already promoted. Yeah, she's promoted and she's higher level, so that could be, even with her skill providing less. Actually, I guess, yeah, her skill is actually substantially higher. So I guess we probably could improve Zima's skill if we were to promote her. I wonder what the... I wonder which of these is more efficient. So this is 6 DP every 25 seconds versus 12 DP every 41 seconds. Alright, we're breaking out the calculator again. Alright, 6 for 25. Rohanski, thank you for the lurk. Yeah, thank you for dropping by. Alright, so yes. So Pendng's skill gives 0.25 DP effectively per... Oh! Thank you for the follow as well. Yes, glad to have you in. Yes, so Pendng's skill gives effectively 0.24 DP per second, whereas Zima's, 12 every 41 seconds, gives a little bit more. So yeah. Yeah, at about 0.29... 0.2926829 repeating. So yes. So Zima is the superior choice, and probably would remain so even if we were to promote her. Yeah, I suppose I kind of expected that, but... Texas could also be another possibility. Yes, Texas gives us precisely 1 additional DP, just in general. It costs 3 more, though. But, whoops. We could upgrade her skill. That would decrease the time spent between uses. I'm not sure though. I don't know. I don't know that the DP is necessarily that tight that we need to be this worried about it, but... Oh, did I not have this active? Oh well. Anyway, I don't know that the DP budget is that tight. But I definitely, again, I want to be careful with it. 9 DP per 33 seconds. Again, I feel like Zima's is probably, well, actually no, because Scavenger does have, is pretty skilled up. So, she could actually be pretty good for this role. So yes, so 9 DP every 33 seconds is still slightly less than Zima's. Okay. So yeah, so Zima is definitely a very, very strong option, and I should not discount her. I almost wonder... I wonder if Beanstalk could be something. She can delay the possessed or the enraged possessed soldiers. So that could be useful. She's definitely less efficient for DP, just like pretty strongly. But I don't know, she's more damage. She's more or she's some range damage. I don't know that it's a great choice, but it's definitely a choice. And at the end of the day, what else can you really rely on? Or what else can you really hope for? But yeah, honestly, the cement change is probably going to be the biggest difference maker here. I'm probably overthinking the additional cost from Zima. Yeah, we'll promote Zima. Oh, there we go. We'll promote Zima.
A promotion? Kruta. So I'll keep getting promoted if I keep doing a good job knocking heads, yeah?
We do not need you to knock any heads right now. We just need to get more. I guess, yeah, the cost isn't quite as high due to her talent there. But regardless, yes, we need no head knocking. We just need additional DP. Whoops. Yeah. Alright, so we'll upgrade her skill a little bit. And yeah, we'll upgrade it to 7. Yeah, so that should give us probably about the best DP generation we can really expect out of any of the units that I've been using much. We'll level her up a little bit just to avoid people asking me why if I know that promoting the unit doesn't increase their stats. Alright, so with that, we should be generating DP a good amount more efficiently with Zima. And hopefully we'll get through this a little bit smoother.
Don't care if I'm leading or following, whatever.
So, other than that, I don't know. We could make more improvements to the team, but I'm not going to worry about it too much for right now. We'll do so if it becomes necessary.
This shaft's got a complicated layout.
Oh, actually, okay. The DP increase, yeah. The cost that was quoted to me on the team screen there didn't include the talent. Yeah, so Zima's actually even cheaper than I was thinking. Alright, not bad, not bad. So, with the extra power on Zima, we might also not need to worry so much about backing them up or, you know, moving courier or anything like that. Yes, which could mean that we can get, yeah, cement out sooner. Of course, we do need to still be quite careful, because if we don't get, well, this may have been a bad choice. I was going to say, if we don't get Blaze out soon enough, it could start to get a bit messy here as well. But things are going okay for right now. And again, what more can you really ask for?
How's that?
Okay.
At your service.
Swap out Courier. Again, I think that Senshi's probably a better choice overall. I don't know. I feel like we want him with his higher defense in front. But it is what it is. Alright. Slow everybody.
Ready to fight.
And
I'm
honestly,
heading into the thick of it.
we might want to swap out Zima for, well, that would be a good choice. Let's see.
Relax, Ducky. Just show up at completion time.
I don't know if we have any way of knowing for sure whether Blueprint Corrections is active currently, but
I'm heading into the thick of it.
I wonder if Swire's a decent choice for this. I was just a little bit too late on Kefalin again. So yeah, so I don't think Blaze is gonna survive here. Unfortunate. So yeah, again, I was trying to wait as long as I could to get the maximum possible value out of it, but that didn't go so well for us. So, I was going to say we could maybe still survive this, but definitely not at this point. Oh yeah, and especially not because we've got a lot more possessed coming our way. Okay. So we did manage to get structural support. There we go, that's the name of it.
What's that
We
smell?
did manage to get that up. So the strategy was pretty sound. It was just a failure to execute properly.
Let's get out of here first. Here, this way. Hurry.
Alright, not bad. Not bad. Yeah, one more
Us
attempt, I
frontline
think, is
creatures
all
have
we
high
really need.
standards. Try to keep up.
Alright. Uno. You might want to swap out Courier for, say, because yeah, he's not really a very efficient choice, especially because we have a lot of other Vanguards that are better than he is. I did choose him specifically because he wasn't that good, but if it's causing me to spend an entire stream on this one level, then maybe not necessarily the best choice. Do we want Colossus this early? Probably not, honestly. We can probably live without her.
Blueprints, check out. Let the construction work begin.
Yeah, doing this means that we can get Blaze down sooner, and getting Blaze down sooner means that we can have her skill active sooner,
This place could use
which
some
means that
heat.
the whole thing can be a little bit smoother. I guess, yeah, I'm probably just sort of, kind of
Archie
medics aren't
charging.
quite as necessary as early as I'm probably making them out to be, because a lot of these enemies don't do that much damage. They certainly do damage. No ifs, ands, or buts about that.
There are the enemies.
But they don't do that much
How's that?
damage. Yes, the amount of damage they do isn't
Your orders.
completely devastating.
ままわしに任せておけ。
Yeah, again, I've been really waiting to the very last second to use our medics and their various options
東まで
so as to avoid losing value. But we don't want to lose the match either, is the issue, so
Bring it on, bastard!
maximizing value isn't necessarily going to always be the only thing to keep in mind.
I'm heading into the thick of it.
I don't know if Swire is...
You will get a lesson from me.
I guess it depends on whether we can get Blaze's skill up
Initiation.
soon enough.
Initiation.
This is too
Hidden
late.
mode enabled.
Yeah, again, trying to wait until the very last second, but it's not
How
enough.
could this
Not
have
enough.
happened? How could I? How
Alright,
could I
so-
have blundered so badly?
Another classic blunder. Alright, so. Call me Tiberius Blunderfield. I
準備
crack
完
myself
了
up
じゃ。
sometimes. Alright, anyway. Probably, if this goes into another match, we'll swap out Courier because he's just not that efficient. He's low cost, and he's... I don't know. Again, I chose him mostly because he's just not that high level compared to some of my Vanguards. But that has its downsides, of course. Yeah, so again, we established that we really don't need a medic that early on in this level.
Blueprints, check out.
So, that means that we can try to make sure cement is on the field. I don't know if that's... Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see if there's some sort of... I'll have to pay attention to see if there's some sort of visual effect that would indicate... Whoops, nope. Not a sneeze yet. There we are.
This place could use some heat.
Yeah, I'll have to pay attention to see if there's some sort of visual effect that indicates whether blueprint correction is active. Because we need it active if we can, at like any cost. Yes, it needs to be up and ready to use.
For power and glory!
All right.
Target marked.
As so. Yes. My thought with Swire,
Your orders.
I should have read him earlier. Anyway, my thought with Swire was that she'd be able to, you know, buff Blaze and give her more killing power, which could probably get through the enemies faster. But you know what else gives us more killing? Oh dear.
Ready to heal.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Oh, hold on. Sinette survived that, like, completely unaided. Wow. Well, not completely unaided since she's here, but without a medic. Which I definitely did not expect. Okay, that's a big,
Initiating healing process.
Oh no. Okay. So it seems that in
Come on,
Keflin...
get it together.
I was still underestimating the, amount of time it would take for Keflin to start. So we really need to be fast on that.
Did anybody get hurt?
I guess it has a fairly long duration on it. So again, I don't necessarily need to worry that much about losing value. Another possibility is going over to Lancet.
Doctor, I'm pretty cumbersome.
Emergency
There's not much I
healing.
can do besides providing emergency treatment and healing.
That's precisely what we need you
Are
for.
you sure you still want me to be the captain?
Yes. Anyway. So yeah, from what we've seen now, I wouldn't trust,
This shaft's got a complicated
I
layout.
wouldn't trust
Follow me.
Cement to survive purely on Senshi's cooking, as good as Senshi's cooking may be. Yeah, I wouldn't trust her to survive solely on that, but she can get through the first one on just that, it seems like. Granted, I don't know what that necessarily means for us, whether that's anything especially great, because she almost certainly isn't going to be able to get through the rest of them on that.
The blueprint's taken.
Because I don't think she's going to have enough.
Construction work begin.
I don't think she's going to have enough. Yeah, I don't think she's going to have enough healing for that to be viable long term. Because they're going to become a little bit more. They're going to come more often later on. I almost wonder if we should put Senshi out in front. Again, that's sort of what we were planning on in the first place. Was it? We were planning on it at some point. Yeah, he's got a lot more defense than Gummy. He might have more attack as well. Yeah, substantially more attack. Yeah, more defense than Gummy. More attack. Earth Spirit.
There's the enemies.
So he might be able to hold up against the Enrage a little bit better. And I think, honestly, I think even with her lower level, Gummy probably still has better uptime or better healing per second. Because yeah, I know that she takes less time to activate her ability versus Senshi. The animation is just shorter.
How's that? At your service.
We'll try that out.
Protect everyone.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Target marked.
Alright, so.
Anyone hungry?
Alright. So we've lost Blaze, and so I think we've probably lost the mission. So, let's try that
Don't
again.
be glum, chump. Follow-up work is part of construction too. Just
Unfortunate.
leave it to me to take care of the reinforcement. Cheer up, Docky.
So yeah, so I got so caught up in thinking about my defenders that I forgot about our guard. So,
Wipe them out in one fell swoop. It's cheaper that way.
Zima. Fast forward until we get up to Courier. We've seen how this goes. Fast forward until we get up to Cement. Yeah, it's pretty rote up until that point.
Victory or death!
Alright.
Remember, max
So,
deviation
then,
for
as
each
soon as we
group.
can, we put down Glaze. And
This place could
I don't know.
use
I don't
some
know
heat.
why I was waiting so long to deploy Colossus. That was probably not a good idea in the first place. But yeah. Deploy Colossus next. Again, I've been placing Earth Spirit in theory, I guess, to try and deal with the enemy over yonder. But it's not like we need that immediately, per se.
Arch unit charging.
Because yeah, they're not going to be within Earth Spirit's range for a good while. We could probably even if we didn't have any additional DP generation, we'd probably still be good. But yeah.
Your orders.
Probably should have waited till Courier used the skill one more time, but we don't necessarily need to worry that much about it. Alright,
わしに
Senshi.
任せておけ。
Oh dear. Okay, cool.
Victory or death!
Alright, Gavial.
Ready to heal.
Yeah, I think we were cutting it very close with
数回に分けて投入する。
how we used cutting it very close with
Initiation
that,
coding complete.
with the time it
What's
took to
the
get
battle plan?
Gavial onto the field. Okay, yeah, Cement is now
Don't worry
surviving
if you
this
see
basically just
fire.
perfectly
That's
fine.
just a
Oh,
side effect.
too late.
Affirmative.
Alright.
綺麗な地形だね。
Alright, so I don't think we're going to survive this, but
This is push forward, Commander! Hurrah!
unfortunate that. So with the way things are now, Cement probably isn't going to survive either. She might, but it's unlikely, I feel. Oh, it's apparently more likely than I thought it was.
Come on, get it together.
I mean, we're definitely losing the mission still, but yeah, this is not bad. Not bad. At least the parts that I was specifically planning on.
A fatal error occurred
Went
during
pretty
the
well.
operation. Reboot the system to proceed.
Yes, let's see. So yeah, we got rid of Courier too early, which meant that we lost out on some value there. Again, let's just not have Courier on the team right now, because I don't think he's worth it.
Do I need to quip just because I joined the team?
Actually, I think that Myrtle's probably more DP, probably. 'Cause yeah, what's her? I know that she can get real good numbers on her DP generation. I don't know that we have her upgraded to the point where she's that powerful, though. Well, anyway, Scavenger. Yes, we have Scavenger switched in. Ima's fine. Senshi did his job perfectly fine. Cement did her job perfectly fine. Again, I've been using Squire. I don't think that she's necessarily that good for the purpose that we're using her in, and so I probably want to switch over to someone else. Again, I'm thinking of Acid Drop for right now, but I don't know that that's necessarily a great option. She's a perfectly fine choice, but honestly, if we really want to make sure that this gets done, we know who to call. And that's Pinecone.
私の出番ですね。
Yes. I don't know that Pinecone's necessarily the best choice, but she's definitely one of my favorite choices.
Just wait for us to get back, Doctor.
Yes, Pinecone, perhaps more so than basically any of my other snipers, is very good when we need her the most. Yes, Pinecone has not let me down so
I know
far.
what to do.
Whether or not she will in the future remains to be seen, but she definitely has not previously. Yes, so again, we know how the story goes.
This place could use some
Alright.
heat.
Sudden twist in the tale caught
Damn it.
up with
Screwed
us.
up again.
So, let's try that again. Got a bit ahead of myself there. Okay.
All right, ladies. Let's keep it cool.
So, Zima, then Scavenger. Probably I don't want to fast forward through this because we are losing a little bit of value from not deploying them as quickly as we could. I don't know. I'm torn between wanting to make sure... Well, no, okay. We're not fooling around. We just want to make sure that this
Let the
happens.
construction work begin.
We want to make sure that this happens properly, because I don't want to spend all of next stream doing this either. So yeah. Again, probably Colossus... Well, no. Want Blaze very soon,
This place could use some heat.
because we need to have Blaze deployed for a good amount of time in order for his skill to activate. So yes, from there, again, we want to deploy Colossus early,
Arch unit charging.
earlier at least than we have been. Yeah, Earth Spirit we could get on the field even with just natural DP generation, so I don't need to worry about it as much as I have been. So yes, so
Hurry up.
we might be able to swap out Scavenger at this point. I don't know that that's necessarily a good idea, but we probably could.
Ready to heal.
Hold on.
任せておけ。
Don't get yourself killed, dummy.
Alright, well... Hopefully Sinette doesn't get herself killed. There we go. So yeah. Things did not quite go as I was thinking about, because I
食材を
Just
数
kind
回
of,
に分けて投入し、
let things happen in a weird way again. But yeah, Gummy's doing, or Sinette's doing pretty good. Oh. Oh dear.
Affirmative.
So yeah, I did completely forget about End Temple in there.
Surrender now if you don't want to get sawed
So,
in half.
I don't... Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think this is gonna work. It did
Anyone
not.
hungry?
Okay. Unfortunate.
Damn it. Screwed up again.
Well, we know exactly what to do, is the thing. I know exactly what I'm doing here. I just, doing it is the problem. Yes. Let's take it from the top. One more rehearsal.
Direct memory access for application map.
Yes.
And enemy
Stop the
coordinates
fast
authorized.
forward a little bit earlier so that
stand
we
by.
can put her down as soon as possible. Because we really are playing in such a way that getting specific units on the field as early as we can get them is really valuable. Like, I cannot understate that.
Victory or death!
I cannot overstate it, rather. I could understate it.
Max deviation for each
I could
throw hole
understate
is
it
2
quite easily.
centimeters.
But yes, I cannot overstate it, rather. And so, as soon as we can get Blaze out, we want to get Blaze out.
This place could use some heat.
So, next up we want to get Colossus on the field, because she will help out with a lot of other things. Yes, and we're not going to fast forward too much, because again, we want to make sure we're getting the most out of our time. Yes, once we get...
Bring it
Yep,
on, bastard!
there we are.
There are the enemies.
So, with what we've seen, we don't necessarily need
Hurry
Gummy
up.
on the field immediately, but I do want Gummy on the field
I will protect everyone.
as soon as I can get her, honestly. I think Senshi is fine to deploy now. maybe not the best, but I think he's fine. Yes. It looks a little bit sketchy, but Samet should survive this.
Ready to heal.
What are you scared
And it did
of?
get pretty sketchy there, but she did survive, as advertised, so I can't complain.
Duh, it's me.
Okay. Oh dear. Okay.
Loading complete.
So, we want to make sure that that's active as soon as we can. Not necessarily as soon as we can, but we want to make sure it's active now.
Surrender now if you don't want to get sucked.
Okay. Senshi needs to... no, not quite it.
Hang
Not
in there,
quite
I'm
it.
coming.
Will Blaze survive long enough, I wonder?
Don't get yourself killed, dummy.
This is going better than I expected. I don't know that this is gonna hold up. It didn't, but not bad, honestly.
Here's something yucky for you.
So we are gonna
This
lose,
cement's going right on your heads.
but that didn't go too bad, honestly.
Damn it. Screwed up again.
So, now that I think about it, I do wonder, it might actually be better to deploy... Where did we put her? Where did we put her? There she is. Nowhere near where I was looking. Okay, it might be better to deploy Croissant for this. Because Miracle Field, largely. Yeah, Miracle Field would be really good. The auto defense is something. I don't know that it's necessarily a great something, but it's something, certainly. Let's see, we'll still have less defense than Senshi, like so, but if we level her up like so, this could be what we need.
I reckon I'll get more work if I get stronger.
Yes. Because again, the 10% decrease, or the 10% chance to resist the damage means that the damage will simply be utterly removed, completely gone. So even with the lack of healing, the ability to negate damage could be enough. Yeah, plus with auto defense, that will also increase her survivability, not necessarily in a predictable way, but I mean, I guess it's completely predictable. It's completely what's the word I'm looking for? It's completely consistent. I just
Moving
can't
out.
control it.
Everyone, please be safe.
Yes. So,
Spineless
Lancet 2
scumbags.
was a good choice. She did do pretty good for what we needed her to do. I'm almost wondering if maybe instead of Pinecone, you might want to deploy another medic. Yeah, triple medic is a strat that has worked for us in the past. It's one that I'm never necessarily eager to use, but we're definitely killing things fast enough. The issue is that we're not surviving in the process.
Max deviation for each drill hole is 2
So,
centimeters.
honestly, you might just want to go with that. Alright, and then, as soon as possible, we deploy Blaze. And now we have our most time-sensitive units deployed. Again, we want to have Colossus out as soon as we reasonably can, but nothing's that big. It's not a huge deal if we don't get her deployed immediately,
Target marked.
if we're like a second off or whatnot. So yes,
For power and glory.
like so.
There are the enemies.
Yes. Alright. So, with all that then, we need to
Are we doing
put Dummy
this?
down.
Ready to fight.
Probably want to place Croissant down too. Maybe we didn't do this in the best order, but we'll see how this treats us. Not great. Again, it was a little bit sketchy, but it wasn't awful. Yeah, with this, we're now at a point where we're pretty stable. Pretty stable. Not necessarily completely stable, but we're not in an awful position either.
Program initiating.
Honestly, we might have wanted to wait on Enkefal until either auto defense was lower or completely gone.
Affirmative.
Alright. This was maybe not the best choice. Croissant did not survive as long as I was hoping for there. So yeah.
Come on, get it together.
Unfortunately, the imperishable, well, not imperishable, yeah, the inimicable pine cone wasn't quite what we needed here. Because again, the issue is not killing the enemies, because they died without too much fuss. The issue is that they kill us. So, we need to do something about that.
I know what to do.
I hope you do, because I sure don't. I mean, I do. I know what
get
to
it
do.
together.
We've already talked about it, but... oh well.
Damn it. Screwed up
Yes.
again.
One more time. Yeah, we know what to do. Again, I sort of wanted to use Pinecone to try and take out enemies faster, which maybe could have worked, but wasn't what we needed. But yeah. So, with all that being said, probably our best bet currently would be Hibiscus, maybe? Yeah, most cost-effective medic that we could use in this situation, I think. Yeah, we could use a multi-target medic, but I don't see much point in doing so. Because again, all the damage is in a very specific location. So...
I won't fail you. I will protect everyone.
alright. So... that's it.
This shaft's got a complicated
You know
layout.
what to do.
Follow me.
Again, the issue is just doing it. What? Well, it's fine. Alright,
Spineless scumbags.
now we wait until it is time for cement.
There is no turning back for you.
Yeah, I've looked over at cement quite a bit, and I've never seen any visual differences, so I think her passive just doesn't have a visual effect to it. Which is a little bit unfortunate, but I feel like I'm saying this a lot. It is what it is. Also, 1 second. Pardon me. Alright, I'm back. So yes. So, with that, let us resume. So, next up on the agenda is deploying Colossus, who should be out before too long here.
Arching it garbage.
Apparently Scavenger does not have a high opinion of Colossus's arts unit.
Are we doing this?
So yeah, we'll swap her out as soon as we can. She's not going to be around for another use of her skill, so we might as well have our next unit join the field sooner. I don't know. I don't want anything to go wrong. It hasn't gone wrong, so I don't have any reason to believe it will go wrong, but... okay. See us with that then. Croissant.
Here's something yucky for you.
And we should be able to get...
Duh, it's me.
Should be able to get...
What are you scared of?
our medic who has a name, but,
Initializing.
you know.
Activating arch unit.
Hibiscus, that's her name. Hibiscus on the field sooner rather than later. Alright. I almost wonder if Magnetic Hammer could potentially be more useful in this circumstance. Because it wouldn't be, you know, it's not a defense increase,
Affirmative.
but it is a, yeah, it's not a defense increase, but it does knock enemies back,
Anyone hungry?
which is a sort of,
Don't be afraid.
yeah.
Heal that wound in no
It
time.
decreases the amount of damage that Croissant is going to be taking. Unfortunately, Croissant's Miracle Field did not
Hang in
hold
there, I'm
for
coming.
us. So yeah, so once again we have lost here. So yeah, so triple medic wasn't necessarily, I guess we've got quadruple
Ready
medic.
to operate.
Yeah, not the strat.
Triple bright miner's lamp can make it go blind.
I guess maybe we might just want to commit to it
If you
and
want
use another thing to
treatment, you
live.
gotta come closer.
Yeah, something to that effect. Yeah, we can't
Come on, get it together.
make this last long enough. Huh? No, because we can't kill the caster in time. Oh, and
If
we
you
also
want
had
treatment, you gotta come
another
closer.
enemy get past us. Oh, so we don't have enough. Don't quite have enough damage up top either. Interesting. All right. Well, I suppose
Man, you
that's
suck. Get lost.
suppose that's about as much as we have time for today. So, let's get wrapped up. Ba-ba-ba-bum. All right. Here we are. So yes. So, with that then, let's see who is online. Oh, of course, right. If anyone has any raid suggestions, as always, I would be delighted to hear them. If not, I can find a raid target on my own. And one way or the other, we're going to go over the business for tonight. So yes. So, tonight has been Arknights. We've made good progress in Operation 6-3, but not necessarily amazing progress. But yeah, the possessed soldiers are definitely a huge problem for us. Yeah, we need to figure out a more efficient way to deal with them. Yeah. We might... I don't know... I was thinking about just stacking defenders. I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to talk about the schedule. So yes. So, tonight has been Arknights. Tomorrow will be more Atelier Yumiya, the Alchemist of Memories, and the Envisioned Land. So yes. Friday will be Guilty Gear's Drive, and then on Saturday will be more Arknights, where we will hopefully put more thought into this and win. Maybe, even. So yes, one way or the other, though, it is what it is. So, with that then, the Thursday and Friday stream you can expect to be around 9:30 p.m. Central Time. So again, I'm going to aim to get started as early as 9 if at all possible. Then for the Saturday stream, you should be able to expect that around 8:30 p.m. Central Time. So, then, with all that, I'm not seeing any raid suggestions. So, tonight, I think we're going to go and visit Physicist, who is playing some Dark Souls 3 with the Convergence mod I think I saw there. Yeah, Convergence mod. So yes, I don't know anything about that mod, necessarily. I know that it is a mod for Dark Souls 3, and it's a pretty extensive overhaul of the system, I think. Yeah, pretty extensive overhaul of it. It adds a lot of new spells and whatnot, from what I've heard. A friend of mine has played it, but I have no familiarity with it personally. Yes, so, Physicist. Alright, so, with that then, the customary raid message is, as always, we have arrived. And so, thank you all for being here tonight. I hope that you have had a fine night. I hope that you will continue to have a fine night every night. And I hope that you will be well until the next time I see you. Thank you all very much, and farewell. Let us get this raid underway.